Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Okay everybody, today is the day. I'm acting like it's a special day. We talk about Nikocado all the time on here, but I was about to be like, today is the special day where we talk about Nikocado avocado. But no, he is a staple here on the Zachary Michael channel. So as always, if that's not your tea, I will leave some links to some other videos down below for you to go check out. But this is also not necessarily going to be a reaction video, so you don't have to worry about sitting through and watching him eat. We're just gonna dish the little tea, I guess, the gossip, where we're just gonna have a little chat about one of his more recent videos on his channel and something that I learned about via Twitter, via Michael B. Petty, who posted a screenshot of an Instagram post, which we will get into. But before we do that, it is that time of the day where we hear from my pal, Judy. Hey, Jude, what's on your mind? What's going on?
Have you all hydrated today? Did you drink enough water? I just want you all to know I love you, and you can let me know you love me back by staying hydrated.
Okay, Judy, thank you so much for sharing. We love to see it. I love that you all love the little Judy segment, so thanks for supporting us and her. I love her so much. I'm happy to have her here. So let's get into this drama. So essentially today, as I was like scrolling through while I was bored, I saw this lovely little post from my friend Michael B. Petty that had a screenshot of a post that Nikocado Avocado made on the Instagram, and it had the thumbnail for a video of his that is on Nikocado Avocado 3. So again, he has 12 different channels, not 12. 12 is my favorite number to exaggerate with, but he has like 6, okay? So we're almost there. We're almost to 12. And the thumbnail, which I'll post somewhere here, or like the post, is of the thumbnail, which says Orlin is gone, and it has him literally in tears, sitting behind a whole shit ton of food, okay? All right, I'm sorry if the word shit bothers anybody, but we are talking about Nikocado avocado here, okay? So I think love's gonna find a way. And his caption on Instagram says, Orlin is no longer with us. I won't be posting for a few weeks. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers. Link in bio. And he has the comments turned off on that particular post. Not all the posts, because you can go down and you'll see, well, I just full on, he has a post that's captioned, practicing the WAP. Girl, no. Don't take that from Cardi and Megan. Don't do, that song is not for you, Nikocado. They did not write that thinking about Nikocado avocado. Please don't. Okay, so that post, obviously, like, I mean, if all you see is that post, what do you think? I mean, just, what do you think? Okay, when he says, Orlin is no longer with us, like, what do you think? I mean, my mind goes to Orlin died, okay? That's where my mind is at, okay? I know that the common theme for any video about Nikocado avocado is always Zach, head in the sack, y'all. You need to know that he is just acting. This is just theatrics. This is just clickbait. But we're out here really clickbaiting his husband's life? Like, we are clickbaiting whether or not his husband is living currently in this moment. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Now, when you go to the actual video, the title of the actual video by itself, Orlin is gone, that doesn't necessarily by itself allude to anybody being dead or anything. Like, being gone could mean a lot of things. Like, they have lived apart multiple times. Maybe it means that he went to the store. Maybe it means whoever, whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean death on its own. But it's this Instagram post where he says, Orlin is no longer with us. I won't be posting for a few weeks. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers. That's some troll behavior. That is clickbaiting your husband's not death. I mean, spoiler alert. I won't have you on pins and needles for too long, but spoiler alert, Orlin is not dead, or at least not according to this video that he posted. But I'm gonna give you this rundown of what happens in this video, okay? Are you ready? Are you ready? So the video, I mean, it starts off with just like the normal amount of like blubbering and crying from Nikocado. It could be any video, okay? It could be any video of him crying. He's just crying and blubbering, and it's like, okay, we get it. But of course, he doesn't miss an opportunity to take a break from that blubbering and crying to edit in the advertisement for his Patreon. He also, at one point, edits in the advertisement for his Cameo.
I feel so blessed to have him in my life and to have had the experiences I've had with him and the knowledge I've gained from being with him.
Click the link down below to follow my Cameo, where I will make a special video just for you. We can also message each other too. Link below.
And I'm just thinking, like, I'm probably doing YouTube wrong, right? Like, I'm probably doing YouTube wrong because I'm not out here. Listen, I do have a Cameo, link down below. I do have a Twitch. I would love y'all to go watch and follow. I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 5:30 Chicago time, okay? But listen, I should probably do some better job of like promoting myself just in general. But what I wouldn't do is have like a whole serious video about this and then say like, oh, by the way, go buy a Cameo from me, right? Like, that would be like that video where I came back at the beginning of July and I said, hey, like, all this has happened. I had a family member who got diagnosed with, or they found precancerous cells in her uterus, blah, 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 blah. That'd be like me saying, that happened to a family member. By the way, please subscribe to my Twitch and buy a Cameo from me. If y'all want to buy a Cameo from me, I'd be happy to do it. But like, I'm not gonna make a real serious video and then try to plug that. And he like literally got people, I mean, I would not have gone to this video had I not seen this post on Instagram. Let me also just say that. So he literally is getting people to come on over thinking Orlin is dead for them to come to this video. And he is like, not dead. Trolling. And I don't know that I find it funny, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I know some people are gonna find their way to my comments and be like, but Zach, you know everything is not real with him. Well, listen, sometimes I think there's some things you shouldn't joke about. There's some things you shouldn't clickbait. Like, I don't know that you're gonna feel great about that if something ever does happen to Orlin, you know? So a whole large part of what happens next is all of these visions that Nikocado has. He talks a lot about how he's had all these visions and this guardian angel, and it all kind of alludes to like maybe something happened to Orlin.
I don't know, maybe it sounds so like narcissistic to even say, but I'm telling you, I have seen my life flash before my eyes over and over and over and over, and I've seen possible outcomes be laid before me over and over and over and over so many times. I feel like there's an angel letting me know what to do. Seeing life flash before my eyes, like this was about to happen and you caught it. It's like someone is giving me somebody or something or some miracle, some kind of like version of God or something. Something comes into my head and shows me the future before it happens. And it's not, I'm not saying I'm psychic. I'm saying like signs. I just had a sign right now before I turned on the camera about something involving Orlin. Almost like warnings too that I get. And I get, 2 months ago I had one of the, it was so, it was so bad. I never told anybody. Orlin Helm is the only person on earth who knows what happened, and he will be the only person who knows.
So this is like, I don't know. For me, I'm like, what are you talking about? You having these visions, you have this guardian angel. Like, did something happen to Orlin or not? Like, he spends a good chunk of time talking about that. And let me tell you, I walk about a mile to go work out on Tuesdays and Fridays. You didn't need to know that. But I listened to this video on about 1.5 speed on the way there and on the way back from this workout today. And the good chunk of the walk to the workout was just him talking about these visions that he was having. I'm like, okay, will you get to the point? Did something, because he's saying like, oh, like I've just always, you know, had these visions where I think something happened to Orlin and I just feel so devastated every time I have one. And it's just like, okay, but tell me, did something happen? And he finally lets us know that nothing happened to Orlin.
Before turning on this camera, Orlin currently is laying down in bed with the CPAP air ventilator machine thing pumping through his face.
In fact, he says Orlin is in bed sleeping with a CPAP on, which, like, I feel like it's so weird that he brings up the CPAP because I just assume most people know what a CPAP does or what it's for, and it is not an insignificant tool, right? Like, it is important for folks, and it does potentially, you know, keep people from, like, dying in their sleep. But, like, he makes it sound like it's something, to me, whenever I'm listening to this, and maybe it's just because he spent the previous, like, 15 minutes going on and on and on about these visions of something bad happening to Orlin, but he made it sound like he was, like, hooked up to some machines that were, like, keeping him alive. And, like, to some extent, that is what a CPAP does. But, like, also, it's not. like, I was like, why are you making such a big deal about this? Maybe it's not that important. But I guess what is important is that, like, he's alive. He's alive. So you just spent this whole 15 minutes going on and on about these visions. You made this obnoxious Instagram post alluding to the fact that, or not the fact, the lie, the lie that Orlin is no longer with us, okay? All for you to say, oh yeah, he's sleeping. He's sleeping over there in the next room over. Girl, cut it out. And you know, the next part is wild because he goes on to talk a little bit about, like, why people won't believe him. And the thing is like, I know that he has talked about Orlin having an autoimmune disease before, and I truly, like, I have no reason to believe that that's not true. I mean, I think that there's a lot of, like, shitty trollish behavior that Nikocado has done, but, like, I mean, he's literally clickbaiting his husband's death here, but, like, I'm really hoping that, you know, isn't some, like, fabricated lie. I will say that when he talks about it, his voice seems a lot less actory than in his other videos, and so I do think that this is, like, a genuine thing, but I also want to say that I think it's fair for people to question what the hell is going on. I mean, Nikocado gives us enough reason to believe that.
I've made videos very similar to how I'm making now, where I've made in the past, where I look at the camera and I say, hey guys, let me just remind you, Orlin has an incurable autoimmune disease that's very rare, and it's also deadly. You would never know because we put on so much shows and antics, and also because our relationship has lots of ups and downs. You wouldn't know because we try not to focus on it. You wouldn't know because he films on his cheat days and he'll film 3 videos in a day and then spread them out for 2 weeks. So it looks like he's constantly eating junk, but he's not. He's trying to do these healthy diets off camera. But as he's gaining weight, it's getting harder for him because he can't sustain himself because it's so difficult to do, and he doesn't know what to eat. And the food really influences his food is directly responsible for 80%, maybe 70% of the issue, the rest being stress. Actually, it might be 50-50, stress and food, but the food makes the stress, and then he's stressed because he can't eat what he wants. So it's food and stress. He's stressed to be on a diet. He can't eat what he's being tempted to eat, all the smells in this apartment, as he's eating freaking apples and berries, and I'm over here with Chick-fil-A. Hooray. all the temptations. It's making him stressed because he can't have it. And then he, so now he's stressed he's going to get sick, and then he's just going to eat it. Well, now he's not stressed that he can't eat, but now he's stressed because he ate it, and he's suffering repercussions in his organs for eating food that he's not supposed to eat.
What a difficult place to be in, where you want people to believe that your husband has a very serious, potentially deadly autoimmune disorder, but your life and your livelihood has become something where you depend on trolling people, trolling with domestic abuse, trolling with you eating a shit ton of food. like if nobody believes you at this point, that's on you, my dude. I mean, truly, and I mean that not to be rude, but it just is what it is. Your whole brand at this point is just being obnoxious and being ridiculous and lying about things, or exaggerating the truth to the point that it's unbelievable, right? So I don't want to sit here myself personally and question whether or not Orlin does or does not have this disease, because I think it very well could be the case that he does, and if that's the case, I hope he gets better. Or maybe that's not the right phrasing of it, since it seems to be something he'll deal with for his whole life. But I hope he gets to manage it better than he's currently doing, right? But you can't sit here and tell me that I have to believe everything that comes out of your mouth when everything on your channel is parody, comedy, exaggeration of the truth, trolling, etc. One thing he brings up again is talking about divorce, and he talks about how he feels like he needs to even potentially leave the home in order for things to get better.
I just feel God, I wish he would. It makes me actually want to actually physically leave. I know we keep going back and forth about divorce and everything, but I feel like I physically need to leave or move out, because he can't lose weight, he can't get healthy, because he also has an eating problem. Can't say the word on YouTube, but you know what I mean. He's had his whole life, way before I met him, because of his disease. Because his disease says you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have this, and it promotes these types of reactions in your body with your system, and therefore you're supposed to eat this. Well, what he's supposed to eat, fruits, is
Now, I have a lot of questions, because he talks a lot about Orlin's autoimmune disease is made worse by eating certain types of food and eating poorly, and it's also made worse by stress. And I'm not helping that, because I'm out here eating all this food, and he gets tempted, and then he also films cheat days for his channel, and blah, 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 blah. And that also is just so weird to me. If he's really this sick, right? If he's really struggling this much, why are you not prioritizing the health of not just yourself, but your husband, right? Why are you not doing something to support him? Because the reality is you could stop doing all these crazy mukbangs, first of all. You have a lot of options here. Let me start there. You have a lot of options here if you want to continue your YouTube channel and be successful. Because the reality is what you're currently doing is not what you've always done, and it certainly isn't the only way to be successful on YouTube, right? Your options include giving up mukbangs altogether, okay? So just give up mukbangs, and you can continue on with all the drama, all the everything, and people are still gonna watch, okay? People do, in fact, watch you because they want to see what's the next most dramatic thing that you've done, okay? The other thing you could do is do healthy mukbangs. Now, I know that's something I've said in the past, you shouldn't do, but I could see people being about him sitting down and eating a platter full of avocados. I feel like that's something he used to do, and I feel like he could do it now. Maybe not avocados, that's maybe a lot of fat, but you get the gist, right? He doesn't have to do things to the level that he currently does. And honestly, if he and or Orlin went on some kind of health journey, lost a lot of weight, etc., I think people would actually honestly be really about that content, okay? So, I think it's weird to justify I have to put my husband's health at risk in order to continue doing this like lavish lifestyle, because you can do your job in other ways without putting Orlin's health at risk. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to y'all? It's like if there was something about my channel that was negatively impacting Noel's health, I would probably just find another way to have a YouTube channel or find other employment, because my partner's health, my partner's well-being is not enough for me to like continue with anything job related, okay? All right. So that's just my thoughts. Like, I think this like weird thought about like considering divorce before you consider, you know, making these other life changes is wild to me. Is wild. Like, you really value these insane mukbangs more than you do the well-being of Orlin. Or the other option here is just that this is all made up, right? I don't want to say that. I would rather believe that Nikocado is not lying about Orlin's health. And in that case, I think you just need to give up the unhealthy behaviors that are negatively impacting him. I think that might be what you need to do. One thing that I did think was really weird was that he even said, how am I eating while I'm doing this, right? Like, he acknowledges that maybe eating a shit ton of food while talking about your husband's health issues is not a cute look. He also goes on to say that, like, we don't want people to worry about Orlin.
You know, obviously Orlin's alive. And Orlin takes risks by eating junk food. And he doesn't like to talk about it, and people, you know, we don't want to worry people too. We don't want his comment section filled with like, you know, I think people don't understand the conflict. It's not like, oh yeah, you can't have gluten, just stay away from gluten. It's like, you can't have this. You can't have cooked food. You can't have heated food. You can't have meat. You can't have dairy. You can't have eggs. You can't have cheese. You can't have butter. You can't have fish. You can't have eggs. You can't have, like, you can't even eat some beans without going to the hospital. Beans have nearly killed him.
Well, I've got news for you, Sister Sue. I've got some news. I hate to deliver the bad news, but I've got some news. And it's, people were already worried. People have a lot of concerns. Like, there's a contingency of people certainly that think this is all fake, and I'm probably among them. But there are a number of people who think that a lot of this nonsense on your channel is real. And these people have been concerned for your health, your well-being, everything, okay? So if we're just now leaning into, we're worried that people are gonna worry about Orlin, maybe you might need to reconsider. And then finally, towards the end of the video, he finally says the thing that allows this clickbait to exist, I guess, which is that he feels like he spiritually lost Orlin.
I feel like I lost my husband. There's been times where, like, almost, but spiritually, I feel like I'm just so sad because I feel like I've lost him, and we've lost each other, and we've lost our ways, and we've lost what felt good to us, and we've lost what made us excited, and we've lost a little bit of love, probably.
Now, miss me with all of that. Like, I think you could have said this all very differently. Like, I get the sense, like, there are people who lose connection with their partners and things like that. Say that. Say that. Miss me with this clickbaity Instagram post to make people think that something horrible happened to Orlin, okay? Miss me with that part. I'm not interested. Just talk to me. Like, I think one of the more relatable things you could actually talk about on your channel is like how to make your relationship work and like what does it feel like to lose connection with somebody. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that. Instead, you clickbaited his death. You did. Now, that is really the commentary I have for y'all. What I left out was farting. He farted throughout this whole video. I left out the eating parts. I left out essentially all of the things that usually say to my viewers, hey, I don't want to watch this, Zach. I'm gonna skip out on this video. I left all of that out, okay? But I'm so over Nikocado. This is one of the last straws. Does that mean I'm never gonna comment on him again? It sure doesn't, because I'm a reaction channel and I am invested in what's going on, and I think other people are too. But I'm over this. I'm over this. This stuff is dumb. Give me something new. Give me something new, because I'm over it. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did and it's your first time here, please make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell button so you get notifications every single time I post. As always, make sure to live, laugh, love, like, comment, share, and follow me on all of my social media. I had so much fun with y'all today, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!